Hi, I'm Allison. I'm here with Jenna, Yasina, and Natalia with our MindBridge Lab group. We're going to go over our experience in the MindBridge app with creating our organization and working on case study A. So the first thing we got is our information for our company. Our company's name is Builder Inc. They're located in Canada and they have 150 employees. In this little excerpt we got about the company, we know that they have a fiscal year starting on January 1st and ending on December 31st. We know this is important because some businesses run fiscal years from June to May. So it's very important to let the MindBridge application know when our fiscal year begins and ends. As well as this little tidbit of information, we find out the accountant also got us over an interim ledger. It's only running from January 1st to September 30th, so we don't have the full year-end data yet. So we're going to plug this information into our MindBridge. We're going to go into the MindBridge AI application. Right in the center of the screen, we're going to click Create Organization. And from there, we're going to enter some information. As the organization's name, we're going to put our name, so it's a little bit easier for us to find. We are also going to add our fellow teammates as additional managers in this step. This way, we can all get into each other's organizations and see the various work that we're all doing. Next, we create the engagement. We're going to call this engagement Case Study A. The next part we're going to mark is the business type, and it's a MindBridge for profit because this company is in the business to make profit. There are some that are nonprofit, but that's not what we're worried about right now. This is where we put our starting month is January 1st, 2023, and our annual period end date is December 31st, 2023. For the industry section, we're going to put construction. The financial management system is going to be SAP Business One because that's what Builder Inc. uses. And the engagement lead is ourselves. Then every other place or every other field, we're going to leave blank. And from here, we create our analysis. This is where we tell the system we only have data from January 1st to September 31st. So that way the system doesn't think that the business has just done nothing for 3 months. It knows there's missing data. We name it interim analysis because this is just an interim. We don't have a full year-end date worth of data. Then we load the data into the system. From here, MindBridge has this really cool thing called risk scoring, where it takes numerous factors and it puts a weighted average against them. And then it uses that weighted average and it goes line by line through the journal entries and scores them based on these averages and gives them its own little MindBridge score. And from there, we can flag various scores for future analytic use. So these control points can look like many things. It can look like duplicate entries, manual entries, suspicious keywords, or weekend postings. We are going to focus on just a couple of these. MindBridge gives its own standard weight to these items. So, duplicate entries has got a rating of 1. Yes, it's a little suspicious if things are identical, but sometimes errors occur. So we need to duplicate things to put things in or out of the system. Weekend postings is one that we are going to be playing with. We know that Builder Inc. does work on the weekends. So we are not going to put any weighted score against Builders Inc. making journal entries on the weekend. Some people, they don't work on the weekends. So it's not suspicious at all or it's completely suspicious that they're entering things when nobody is supposed to be there. The next one is that suspicious keyword. We're going to type Steve Smith, the CEO's name, into this, and we're going to give a weighted average of 15%. We really want to be looking to see if Steve Smith is adjusting anything in the system. Another one is manual journal entries. This one, we're going to leave that filter, that score rating alone because MindBridge already knows to look into manual journal entries. But with that suspicious keyword, we're going to be able to really look at manual journal entries tied to Steve Smith as well. So with all these various control points, we're only going to move 2 of them, and that's the weekend posting down to 0 and Steve Smith as our suspicious keyword. From there, we're going to save everything and we're going to start our audit task creation. And for that, I'm going to turn you over to Yasina.
So I'm Yesenia, and I will be going over how to add the tasks to our audit plan. So we will start on the risk overview. Here you can see an overall picture of the risks that were identified within the data set. Uh, all the transactions were scored. Anything over 50 is considered high risk. Anything between 30 and 50 is medium risk. And anything below 30 is considered low. So here we have 4 transactions that are high risk. And so we're going to go ahead and select all these transactions. And we're going to go to actions to create a task. Since I've already created one, we can view the task and we've titled it high risk. And we will also do a couple filters in order to bring up additional tasks. So first, we're going to clear that out. We're going to switch to the basic. And our first filter is going to be, we're going to add revenue into account. Our monetary value would be more than 10,000. And then our mid-bridge score would be 30 to 50, which would be the medium score. And then on this as well, we will select all the transactions, go to action, and then again, you would see create task. But in this case, we're going to view it and we would title it medium risk revenue greater than 10,000. And now we'll switch over to the advanced filter. And with this one, we will identify control point. Our risk level will be high. And our control point is we'll be searching for our manual entries. And so we'll select manual entry, apply. And now again, you will see all our manual entries, and it has both high, medium, and low. Since we've already identified these high risks, we're also going to edit our action in order to add that they're manual entries. So we can go to edit task, and then we can add in our comments that it was a manual entry. And then we can go ahead and unselect those, and then we can select the rest and create an action for these as well. And in this case, since I've already created one, we can view the task, and these were identified as manual entries. And with that, I will turn it over to Jenna.
Hi, so I'm going to go ahead and show how we will export all of our data so that we can have it on our computers. So you're going to head over to the left side of your screen. You're going to open the Analyze tab. Go ahead and open the General Ledger Analysis. At the top, we're going to head over to Annotations. From here, we'll select All. You'll go ahead and export the selected. You're going to see it pop up down here in progress, and you click this little button right here to download it to your computer. Now in this, one second, this will show all of the transactions and all of the data we just put in. They'll all be right here on this graph. You can go ahead and scroll down, and this graph will show you all of the outliers, so you can see all of them right there. After you save that in a safe place on your computer, you're going to head back over here to the left side of the screen. You're going to click on your audit plan. You can see everything's on here, all the data we just put in. You're going to go ahead and click export. Don't touch any of that. Click export one more time. Again, it's going to show up here at the bottom. You're going to go ahead and download that. And that one, when you open it, it gives us everything we just did. So it's going to give us, our transaction IDs, our analysis names, the account numbers, account names, the dates of everything, your memo, what currency it's in, debits or credits, the status, whether it's open or not, what kind of task it was, whether it was a manual entry or not, description, that's where, any of our comments are going to come through. Who reported it? You'll see the assignees, any filters applied, the audit areas, audit assertions, samples, comments, and then you'll see all the rest of the data that we just went through. And then you'll want to save that in a safe place on your computer as well so that you have access to it. And with that, I'm going to hand it over to Natalia to do our conclusions.
Hello. So to summarize our findings, it would be a reasonable assumption that the CEO's pay is considered a high-risk finding. As we can see in this risk table, in this risk overview, it's fairly even throughout the months, and work picked up towards the end of the year, so September. We have only 4 high-risk findings, which add up to 531,040. Yeah, 531,440 in total. So if we look into those, these are the 4. So J492 is manual adjustments made by Steve Smith towards roofing material, and this is adjusting J491. If we take a look into our summary table with which Jenna just reviewed, we find J491. So here we go. As you can see, the hardware credit has been zeroed out, and this was manually. So if we take a look back into our table, this goes with roofing material and the hardware. J494 is also similar. This was in effect September 30th. However, J493 shows that it's supposed to be. We can see that these manipulations were made to manipulate the company's profit at year end. Overall, and J131 is our final one. So this is 191,401. This is made to adjustment 130. J130 is meant to be posted on May 8th, 2023 as well. Looking at the risk overview table, overall, the gross activity is low risk at $2.95 million, but they are going straight into the CEO's pockets to now, if we take a look into the data table, which we are having trouble locating, J490 has a debit of $0. And this trend could be noticed throughout all 4 high-risk tables. J490 and J131. And That concludes our findings and our risk overview of case study A.